Religion has often been presented in cinema. In horror movies, Western religious themes of possession, hell, and sins are a recurring trope. From the exorcism of Emily Rose to Carrie, the human soul and its complexity are explored. However, a smaller trope is present in the horror genre, between Frankenstein and the Alien franchise. Who am I, and who made me? In the 2012's Prometheus, a scientific team goes to an alien planet, believing they will there meet their creators, which they named the Engineers. Contrary to most religion-influenced horror movies, the director of Prometheus and Covenant, Ridley Scott, was more interested in Greco-Roman and Aztec creation myths than in Judeo-Christian narratives. In those religions, there is not one omnipotent God, but a pantheon. Mankind is also made directly out of the gods, like the engineers who used some type of black goo to break down their DNA into new species, the origin of humanity. Consequently, humans also look similar to their creators. Just like Frankenstein and later his bride are similar to humans, or like David, the AI is made in Willen's image. David, created by humans, asks the same questions about why he was created, but received a very disappointing answer from Professor Holloway.
Why do you think your people made me?
We made you because we could.
Can you imagine how disappointing it would be for you to hear the same thing from your creator?
David was created because humans could do so and use him. In the same way, were humans created simply because the engineers could, as an experiment? They, however, never receive an answer from the engineers. Their makers wanted to destroy them for their violent and greedy behaviors, which meant that, on some level, the experiment failed. In 1931's Frankenstein by James Whale, Dr. Frankenstein creates his monster out of sheer curiosity and to determine whether or not he could. He wished to feel like a deity.
In the name of God, now I know what it feels like to be God.
But like the engineers, he becomes horrified by his creation and wishes to destroy it. Although the doctor also later creates a female monster in The Bride of Frankenstein, it is against his will, and he ultimately witnesses his creation die with apparent relief. He realized his experiments were unnatural and driven by his hubris. On the other hand, Dr. Preterius' hubris gets out of control as he makes many experiments to create various monsters. Whelan similarly invents man-like machines, like David, and slowly starts to see himself as a godlike figure who has reached the same level as his creators before him.
We are the gods now.
Yes, because you and I, we are superior. We are creators. We are gods.
However, just like Dr. Preterius' excessive pride was his undoing as he died in the tower with the monsters, Whelan eventually dies at the very hand of his creator.
We belong dead.
The types of creations in horror are separated between two categories: biological creations and artificial ones. The first comes out of a womb after a gestation period, which may be fast for shock purposes, while the second is entirely created from pieces, like David, who is a robot, or Frankenstein from dead body parts. The creation from pieces are not seen as being entirely real or alive, but more of an unnatural experiment or a tool to be used. In Prometheus, that distinction is blurred as the origins of humanity may be seen as either artificial and scientific or biological through evolution. The question thus becomes whether or not humanity is even a natural creation, or a mistake to be fixed.